All right, so today we are back at the Goodwill Outlet Store today. We haven't been down to this one in probably a couple, maybe a month or two, maybe 2 months. And I'm here with my son today, Nick. Say hi, Nick. And we are going to try and see what we can find here. It's been hit or miss, obviously, at these places. You just never know what you're going to get. But we're going to give it a shot today. Try to get as much inventory as we can. Hopefully some good electronics today. I do have quite a few clothes because my last few videos you've seen all the clothes I'm getting. But hopefully we'll get some hard goods and electronics here today. So let's take a look inside and we will take some shots and videos and see what we can show you what we're finding to flip online on my eBay and Poshmark stores. Pretty quiet down here today so far, so we're gonna get a start and see what it is we can get here. Now we do pay by the pound here as always at the Goodwill Outlet, so we're gonna look to try to get some bulk stuff for cheap. That's the idea today. All right, here's what we got so far. We got a bag of clothes right here, mixed up there. That's nothing there. A bunch of electronics, miscellaneous stuff in here. Got a couple pairs of shoes. Quite a few hats today and some other random stuff in here. I'm not sure how we're going to separate all that out yet, so anyway, we'll go check this out and pay for this here in a second. All right, so we're back from the Goodwill bins. Pretty good trip today. Overall, I think we did pretty good. Got a really mixed bag of things like we normally do. So we've got it spread out all over the floor here. And what it came down to was we had a total of $98 for everything. And there was a couple real heavy items in here that we'll show you that we picked up. So that did bring that number up quite a bit. But even then, we counted 58 items that we're going to attempt to sell out of this batch. Now, as always, sometimes the items that we get, turns out to be a bust once we get it cleaned and look at it closely, or we test it. So sometimes there's some things that'll be a bust, but hopefully if everything goes well, we got 58 items to sell, which brings the buy cost down to $1.68 per item. So with that kind of buy cost, we're not picky about things generally. I mean, we still look up a lot of things as we're going, and we kind of look at the sell through and see if it's reasonable or not. But we take our chances with things too, which is part of the game when you're getting it that cheap. So anyway, that's what we've got, $1.68 per item on the cost basis. Not too bad. So with the clothes, I think we had about 14, 15 items. So I'll go over those first, and then we can kind of look at the rest of the stuff. So right here, first off, got this Nike, like a hand warmer bag, like waist pack hand warmer. Did not look this up, but it's kind of a unique piece. And, for sports and outdoor stuff, I think it's probably going to do pretty well, but I didn't really look into that too much. But that's the first item. Then found this this Columbia waist pack, just a fanny waist pack. Sold similar items like this from Columbia, and those seem to do pretty good. And we were thinking, I think when you looked it up, it was maybe maybe we'll get around 10, 12 bucks for it. So not too bad. This is just a hat that picked up. It's brand new with tags, and it is from the Runner's Roost, which is used to be, I don't know if they're still around, but they were a running store that sold running gear. And I thought I would just go ahead and chance it because it's brand new. I don't know how that's going to turn out yet, but we'll try to sell it. Next, got this this vintage, pretty cool old Fruit of the Loom tag vintage, and it's kind of a funny shirt, but the Gamecocks, University of South Carolina Gamecocks, and it's a really nice sweatshirt other than a little bit of blemish on the lettering there, but for a vintage piece like that, pretty cool. So that might do real well on the resale side. Next up, I found this, I don't know much about this brand, but it's Avalon, and it did say made in the US, which caught my attention. Really nice kind of a ribbed long sleeve sweater. And when I started looking this up, I was seeing, especially these older, more so vintage maybe with the US, made in US pieces, seem to be selling pretty well in that $25, $30 range, and some up much higher. So I don't know. You know, we'll give it a try on that one and see what we can get out of it. Next, got these Mountain Hardwear, I think. Yeah, Mountain Hardwear shorts. Look like women's, just, I don't know, outdoor shorts. The brand Mountain Hardwear has been pretty solid for me. It's not a real big money getter, but it is a good outdoor brand. So maybe able to get like 15 bucks in the summer. Probably be sitting on them for a little while, but that's okay. And then next, got this Old Guys Rule t-shirt. It's brand new with tags, and it has a nice graphic on the back. And some of these Old Guys Rule t-shirts I've seen actually have some value to them. I didn't look up this particular one, but it doesn't weigh much, and we just threw it in, and you know, if I can get, you know, 10 to 12 bucks for it. Next, got this hoodie, and it's the brand, and I probably gonna butcher this name, but Bobale, or it's a, I believe, a tennis brand. It's got the embossing on the for the name right there, and if somebody can correct me on the name, you know, please do so. But I've sold this particular brand before with their shoes, it's their bags. I think they're like the tennis racket bags. So I don't know. I don't know much about their line of things, but this is a pretty nice hoodie. So maybe I can get like 20 bucks for it, or 25 bucks. I don't know. Next up, got this Adidas, just the 3-stripe Adidas hoodie like that, and good size. Looks to be nice, good, nice condition. Nothing great, nothing, you know, but probably could get, you know, around 20 bucks for that, 15, 20 bucks. Next, got these Eddie Bauer women's shorts. Just again, probably have to hold them till summer. Eddie Bauer is one of those brands I don't like seek out, but something like this, I do sell almost all their shorts when I get them, and they don't go for a lot of money. Usually probably between like $8 and $15. So, you know, I'm expecting to probably hit that $12 range, something like that with these. Not too bad. Next, I got another hoodie, and this one is Tracy Byrd, the country singer. Tracy Byrd. I don't know. I was looking it up. I really couldn't find much on it. But again, I thought I'd chance it just because it's in good condition, and you know, sometimes those music band or whatever t-shirts, those artist t-shirts and hoodies do pretty well for me. All right, and then I picked up these Levi's. These are women's. Well, you can see that, but they're just the 535 super skinny, but they are a 31. Good size, I think. You know, even though they're the skinny jeans, I don't know how well they'll do, but they're in really nice condition. And when I can get Levi's in good condition at the bins, I always do, because they always sell for me. And they usually get $15 to $20 easily, some much more, of course. Next, I did get another pair. Well, these were actually John Barbados jeans. There's the tag and what they look like a little bit. Just a little bit of a black faded jeans, but I think they'll do pretty well. I didn't look into them too much on these, but that brand has been okay for me. Next, just got this Nike, just a basic Nike hoodie. Nothing, you know, great there, but Nike stuff always sells for me, and usually should get like, again, around $15. And then Nick found this Tracy McGrady Toronto Raptors. It's a youth jersey, but it's a really cool jersey. And it's the Hardwood Classics.
Mitchell and Ness.
Yeah, Mitchell and Ness, Tracy McGrady. Cool. So that's pretty neat. I don't know, I'm sure I think it's just really cool jersey. I wish it was a men's, but that'll do well. And then another hoodie, perfect time of the year for that, but it's the University Colorado Springs, and good condition again, really nice hoodie. So, you know, I'm sure we'll find some student down there that'll want that. Picked up some jeans today. Got some, these are American Eagle, the low-rise flare. So they have the flat pockets on the back, and then they have the flared leg with the real wide flare. Real popular right now, and I think these will do pretty well, probably in that, you know, $20 range. And I think I got a few pairs of those if I'm not mistaken. These are actually, these are the BKE Peyton women's, I believe. They're women's. Nothing great there, but BKE's been a pretty solid brand for me, and men's, mostly on the men's side for sure on jeans, but on the women's I've still sold quite a few. Oh, we got a lot of sun shining right in on us. I hope that doesn't mess up our video too bad. I may have to, I don't know. Anyway, next I've got these Aeropostale jeans, which is another brand definitely I don't look out for. But these are also, they're long inseam with a real wide bell flare on the bottom. And they, I don't know what the model is on these, but yeah, they're the high-rise flare. So again, just that popular leg right now style. I have no idea what those can go for because I've never sold that brand, but I'm guessing again $15–20 on that. Then picked up a couple shoes today. Got these Oboz high top hikers, and in pretty good shape. I mean, obviously used, have a decent, you know, decent tread left on them. And I know that these are the dry waterproof version. You know, very expensive boots to buy new. So, you know, even if I can get like 25 to 30 bucks for them, that would be really good. And then found these Merrell, I think these are women's, but they're really nice shape on the soles, like hardly anywhere. They look like really like brand new on the bottoms. And so, I don't know. I didn't look this model up, but I've sold similar ones to this and usually get a solid 20, you know, $30, something like that right in there. Then we got a couple leather wallets. This one is a Kenneth Cole, and it was actually brand new. It was still in the package thing, but it was kind of all messed up, so I took that all out. But it is it still has the paper folding on the inside and everything. So I don't know what it's worth, but thought I'd grab that. And then an REI leather wallet. Kind of hard to see, but an REI wallet. So pretty nice. Both of them are really nice, actually. All right, then we got some glass cases. I usually sell these cases, and I don't get a lot for them, but when you can grab them in this kind of setting, I usually do. So this first one is a Nike, just a glass case, nothing special, but anything Nike usually sells pretty well. And then a Ray-Ban, this yellow Ray-Ban case with the red felt lining. And then got another Ray-Ban case. This is like that leather case like that. And sometimes I just hang on to these, so when I do find a pair of Ray-Bans, I just throw them in there and sell it that way. Also, this one here is actually pretty cool because it's a Coach. It's the Coach case, but it also had the Coach glasses in it. And I noticed this when I opened them up, and I saw the branding on the side of the glasses. I don't know, right there if you can see it. And I'll have to look up this particular model, but that could be fairly valuable with the glasses. So hopefully that's the case. Then we found these interesting, well, that glare is really bad. I don't know if we should close that curtain or not. Hopefully it's not messing up the video. We found these interesting tap handles, like bar tap handles. And this is from a local brewery in Colorado called Left Hand. and it's the Sawtooth Ale, and it is a hand. It's really pretty unique, and it's got the threading on it for the tap, but very unique handle pull for the bar tap. So that's really cool. And then another left hand was this Good Juju, but there's the left hand brewery logo on the side, and then the top logo. Pretty awesome. And we were looking, this one, there was a lot of them listed, and I think they were, what, 20 bucks or something?
Yeah, around 20.
About 20 bucks on that one. Couldn't find the hand one, and this is a very unique piece, so might be able to get much more for that because it's so unique. And then the last one was a Coors Light handle like this, which is really neat. And this is, of course, is very universal, whereas the left hand is kind of specific to microbreweries. Some people may never even heard of it, but it is in my opinion, it's a popular brand, but I don't know nationwide or worldwide. But Coors Light, of course, is well known, and this one we saw quite a few.
About a lot of them, probably about 20, 25, maybe two again.
Yeah, so again, pretty good value on that. Then next, we got quite a few hats. Yeah, I found these. They're called stash cap, I think is what they're called, or stash caps. And there's the tag right there, and that's what they look like. With here, I found two of them. There was actually several more of them. I should have grabbed more of them because when I was looking these up, you know what? I'm going to pull that curtain. Hang on just a second. Okay, that's much better. So these stash caps, found these new with the tags. Got two of them. There was actually a whole bunch of them, and I only grabbed two. But looking these up, they actually had some value. I think they were around $20 a hat. So that's pretty awesome. And then this Patagonia hat, and just needs a little bit of cleanup on it. Not too bad, but we'll go ahead and get this thing cleaned up and see. But that's a pretty cool hat. And then this one here is a Brinkley RV, and I wasn't going to get it, but I actually saw the same exact hat sell for like $16. A couple of them sold the same exact one, and this looks like, I don't think it's ever been worn, so that'd be great if I can get 15 bucks for that. And then a Maker's Mark hat for the whiskey brand Maker's Mark. Really nice hat. I even keep that for myself, I don't know. And then the Calgary Flames hat, and this one is brand new actually, and it's, you know, really nice. And then the same, pretty much the same hat, but used and needs a little bit of cleanup on that one. So those, I don't know what they're worth, but you know, 10 bucks maybe or something like that. All right, and then Nick found this, the Instax, the mini 75 camera. I've sold several of these before in the past, and I don't know if it has a bezel that goes around that light or not, but I've still sold them. I've sold them when they're missing the cases or the battery covers and everything on them, and they still seem to get like around $15 to $30 somewhere in there. So that's pretty good. And then several remotes. You know, we like to buy remotes, and usually when we get them, you know, we try to match them up with a player, of course, but I'll usually just list them, and then if they sit there for too long, then you know, I'll try to sell them individually or whatever. But if they don't sell, we'll just try to match it up ultimately with the actual player it goes to. But got a Toshiba one here, not worth much money, but I have a player downstairs. I'm hoping it works with that. And then a Sony Blu-ray, have several players to match up with that one. And then a JVC, and this one actually on its own was worth about 15 bucks. And it looked like it was selling, it had a good sell-through on that one. So that'll be great. And then, I don't know what this is, but this little pin, it's like a little dog pin. It's brand new. Just threw it in, it doesn't weigh anything. Surely it has to have some value to it, so I don't know yet. We'll have to look into that. Nick found this little handheld games, Skip Bow, and I don't know if we don't have to test it and everything, but he was saying it was worth a little bit.
Like 10, 15 bucks maybe, so nothing crazy.
A little bit, yeah. All right, and then found this Fitbit watch band, brand new, still sealed in the box. And I saw these selling for 15 bucks, something like that. And then picked up, this was one of the heavier items. It's a Vizio subwoofer. And I've sold these subwoofers before. Usually they can get 40, 50 bucks. So I don't know, we'll have to see what this particular model is, but it doesn't have the cord, but I can match up a cord for that and see if maybe I can test it or maybe not, just sell it as is. But usually they'll still go for like 40 bucks untested. And then with that is the matching speakers, the surround sound speakers for the Vizio. These, I have some more of these that I need to list down in my inventory, but today we got 4 of them. We got the two small little surrounds, and then the little left and right surrounds. So I may end up putting them together as a set. I really don't know, but looking them up, I think I was seeing about $25 on a pair for the bigger ones. So I assume these are probably worth around $20 as a pair, something like that. And the subwoofer probably around 40, like I was saying. And then next, this was a surprise. I've always kind of looked for these, and this is a Cutco knife block, and I've never found a Cutco one. I've always looked at thrift stores and found many other different brands, but this one found today in really nice condition. And looking it up, this particular model, made in the U.S., it was like $50, and it had an extremely high sell-through. So if I can get $50 for this alone, you know, that literally pays for half of everything just by itself. So that's awesome. All right, then we found this little Sony.
Clock.
Yeah, a little alarm clock, and it has what is it, like a projector?
It's got a projector, yeah. So it'll shoot the time onto the wall on the side there, and then you can adjust it to like different angles and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and actually, it had a really good sell-through.
Really good sell-through.
For like 25 or something.
Yeah,
was it? 25.
Around 25, maybe.
25 bucks with a really good sell-through on that one. So that's pretty awesome. And then a couple little random things. This Fiskars little cutting wheels, still brand new, sealed. I think they were worth about $8 if I remember right. And then a Canon ink cartridge that is brand new. The package is kind of open right here, but it's still sealed. And that actually was going for around $15 for this colored cartridge, new. And then we got
this, or
yeah, we got a Kitty smoke fire and carbon monoxide detector, and it looks as though it's brand new. It just isn't in the box, but everything looked like it's brand new. So it's one of those things where, you know, even if I don't sell it, I could always use it around the house myself or whatever. But these are pretty expensive to buy new. If you've looked, I think they're 40 bucks.
Yeah, it's about 40, 50.
40, 50 bucks to buy these brand new. So, you know, can't really beat that. And then
it's that streaming box, I think.
This was an interesting find too. It's a Verizon.
It's like a streaming media box from what I was reading.
Yeah, Stream TV, and it's still brand new. Everything's brand new, sealed in the box with the instructions, the cables, the install stuff, and it actually has the remote right here too. So
I thought it was like 25, 30 pretty easily.
And it also had a good sell-through.
Yeah,
Or I think it was either 100% sell-through or 50%. I can't remember, but it was still a pretty solid sell-through for like 25 bucks. That's awesome. And then this little DVD. It's a Sylvania little DVD player. Has a little flip screen. We're gonna have to find a cord for it and of course test it.
Yeah, it's pretty gross
but,
too, so it needs some cleaning.
Yeah, it needs a lot of cleaning. But you know, it might have some value there. last time we were down there, Nick found a Sony one, and I just actually sold it this morning. A little Sony flip player, and it got me $25 plus shipping. And then the fire.
Yeah, maybe this one. It's kind of weird. It's like a Wizard of Oz, Harry Potter Hermione wand, like a collectible wand. Doesn't have a lot of identifiers, but I saw a few of them for like $20, and it hardly weighs anything, so it's kind of worth just grabbing it. But it's just a collector's kind of model wand from Harry Potter. So
it has,
cool.
Yeah, it has all the stuff
box
in the
and
box,
everything
and
on it. So
it was branded too, right? It had the branding.
it has like Warner Brothers on the bottom. It doesn't have Harry Potter on the box or anything, but I mean, still, I was seeing several of them for around $15-20, so that would be great. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's kind of a weird one, but yeah. And then got 3 separate Amazon Fire TV sticks. See, they're all kind of jumbled up in there.
Yeah.
But one of them had the box at least and was complete, so that's pretty good. Remote, cords, all that. So that should be like a good $20-25, I think. And even just the device by itself is like 10 maybe 15. So like, that might be pretty decent too as well.
So yeah, like you said, most of them have everything except that one was just the stick itself. But so yeah, I mean that's pretty good putting those together.
I think that might have been it.
So I think that was it then. So yeah, if we counted everything correctly, 58 items and a good variety of things. I like that in my store. I like to have a variety of things that we're selling because, at different times of the year, there's certain things that are selling that time of the year and some things that are not. Like hiking shoes, it may still be kind of in that just kind of finishing up with the hiking stuff. But then come springtime, summertime, of course, that will pick back up. So we have a good variety of things here. That's what we like. And we also like the fact that when we go down there, we just never know what we're going to find at any given moment. So we like the thrill of the hunt. And today was pretty good. There wasn't a lot of people. It was pretty quiet for the most part. It started getting a little more busy as we left, but overall it was pretty good day down there. And I think we did reasonably well for what we've got here. So I'm going to be prepping, testing, and preparing to start listing this stuff coming up in the next so many days. And then hopefully all throughout next week, get all this stuff listed and then see what happens. Hopefully we get some quick movers. The last Ben's trip, I sold 2 or 3 things that paid for the whole trip right off the bat. I think it was after the 3rd item. I think I was already, maybe the 3rd or 4th item, I was already in the profit. And I think that trip we got, was it 40?
It was like mid-40s.
Mid 40 some items.
Or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, so, so if I paid for it in the first 3 or 4, then, I still have the rest, the 30 some, 40 items still to go. And so those have been trickling sales as we go. Because a lot of this stuff is, it isn't like it's just hot off the shelf stuff, even though we did find some with really good sell-through rates. So I'm really pretty optimistic about that part of it. But overall, I think we did pretty well today. So let me know in the comments if you find any of this stuff in your Ben's areas, in the Goodwill Outlet areas that you're in. I'd be curious to see if you are finding this kind of stuff or any of this stuff, or if you have any experience selling any of this stuff. I'd like to know that too, because we're still learning all the time. And it's one of those things that when you're treasure hunting, you just never know. But once you sell it for the first time, you usually can just, repeat that process over and over again when you find it again. So, it was a good day, and we're pretty stoked about what we found today. So not too bad. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with us today. Appreciate your support watching the channel, and like and subscribe would really help us grow. So thanks, and we'll see you again on the next video. Have a great day.